Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space on all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan, support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday. We have a thought piece that we just dropped this past Sunday, so be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available on 12 different podcast platforms for your listening leisure, and we've provided you with access to the links in the description down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today the topic of discussion is education. And on the topic of education, I want to talk about the education that starts at home, and this is the education around taking risks. And I think this is such an important conversation because so many of us have been indoctrinated with really being overly cautious, overly conscientious, and as a result of that, we live in a very, very small lane, right? We don't give ourselves a whole lot of leeway, a whole lot of flexibility to kind of test things out, to step outside of our comfort zone, to trial things out because of our fear of failure. And that fear of failure wasn't something any of us were born with. It was something that was built into us through a lot of this authoritative style education where you really need to be seen and not heard. You need to speak only when you're spoken to. And I think that we need to start to do away with some of these traditions and some of these norms that keep us quiet, that make us feel like holding space and taking space is a problem, and that we're bothering people when we have a bright new idea, or that we're being cumbersome, or we're being annoying when it is the case that we want to step outside of the box or color outside of the lines. And I think that so many of us are encouraged to do so. Only it's a bit of a paradox because we're encouraged to do so only after we've been beaten from not doing it, right? We've been beaten down mentally, psychologically in the schooling system a lot of the times. If we're raised with a religious upbringing as well, or if we're raised in settings and with people who really wanted to take on this authoritative style leadership, which made it really very hard for us to use our voice without it being seen as a threat. And I think that we moved into this digital era, the era of information, where having a voice, having a position, taking a point of view that is different from the mainstream or dominant point of view is so encouraged, but so few of us have the courage to do it. And it's only because we've been beaten into this style of asking for permission before we do anything. And I think that it's really important that someone comes on here and says, there's a lot of people who are going to have an issue with you having an opinion that differs from their own. own. So there are certain things that you must simply do and seek forgiveness if you feel inclined to do so afterwards. I think that when it comes to exploration, when it comes to being creative, when it comes to stepping outside of your comfort zone or following your curiosity, these are things we need to be unapologetic about. I mean, so long as we're being morally sound and we're not hurting anybody, there's absolutely no harm, no foul in trying things out. And I think that because we're so fixated on asking for permission, we forget that there's a flip side. We can ask for forgiveness. We can try it out, learn through the failure. If it results in a failure, I mean, it could be a success, but I think it is so quintessentially human to have the choice to make the call, and so few of us are leveraging that choice, despite the fact that that's an intrinsic human quality, right? Not many creatures on this earth have the consciousness of choice, and we do, yet we've allowed ourselves to be beaten away from using our choice. And I think that this is the education that starts at home, and we need to think about what it is we're really doing to our children and what it is that we're allowing to be done to us if we allow ourselves to feel frightened by the idea of following our own train of thought, of doing something that is our own brainchild, right? Of bringing our brainchild into existence. And if that cripples us with fear because of fear of judgment, because of fear of punishment, because of fear of reprise, I think that it speaks a lot to a lot of the problems in society that we just let skate by, right? They're the problems that we all know of. We all talk about it, at cocktail hour conversations, but none of us do really anything to deal with it. And I was someone as a child, I was super obsessed with the Magic School Bus, and I took Miss Frizzle's advice so literally when she said, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. That is life. That is really the philosophy of life. I mean, this life is going to end the same way for each and every one of us, so why should it also have any twinges of regret, any twinges of what if? Why live that way when we're all going to the same place at the end of this life either way? Might as well live your life to the fullest, explore the things that mean something to you, and do away with this shame, with this guilt, with this apprehension about following your own train of thought, about doing something that ignites you or that ignites your curiosity or that you feel passionate about because you didn't get the approval or you didn't get the validation or you didn't get the green light. You don't need any of those things from anyone but yourself, and I think so few of us have been granted the opportunity to ask for forgiveness as opposed to ask for permission, that we think that the only way forward or the only route in any direction that relates to us is through asking for people to open doors for us, rather than taking it upon ourselves to create a door for ourselves, or asking people to sit at their table when we can take it upon ourselves to make our own table and then invite people to sit at our table. I think there are so many things in life that require us to kind of play a role, and I think that it would be better for all of us to be the main character in our story, to do the role the way we want, to write the script to our own tale, and that requires, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side of the coin you're on, for you to learn to ask for forgiveness and not ask for permission. I didn't realize how North American this was. I mean, it's very prevalent in Canada, and any of my counterparts in the States have been the same. Like, we're much more bold, we're much more ballsy, we have much more of an appetite for risk, of getting the slap on the wrist if we do something that was, not on course or not on par, because you can't speak the narrative of make mistakes, be bold, have bold ideas, and we embrace failure if you don't actually do it in action. And I think that if you give yourself permission to fail and you're punished for it, that gives you a sense as to what environments you want to be in and what environments you want to be without. In any case, that's the topic for today. It's really a suggestion. It is a forceful suggestion. I think at some point this week, this month, make sure you do something and then you ask for forgiveness afterwards. Do not ask for permission. In fact, all of us who start to wean ourselves out of the behavior of asking for permission to do something that we think would be of great value. I mean, if we've teased the idea out, if we've tested it, if you just want to trial it out, no harm, no foul, of course. Use your discretion. I'm not here telling you to kind of take a carte blanche on everything. I mean, I think within the realm of responsibility, make those choices, make those mistakes, and as dear Miss Frizzle would say, take chances, make mistakes, and get messy, everyone. It is the mandate that we should all be living by in this one life that we have. In any case, that was it, but definitely not all. Now, before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page, so definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events, so if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, then I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, as well as access to webinars and workshops largely focused on self-mastery over and above these events. So we invite you to tune in, be part of our game changer community, being part of the change that you want to see, allowing us a small role to play in your journey. We are on the road to 1K, so we invite all of you to follow us across all of our social media platforms, and we look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you later.